Okay, I'm in the middle of a project, folding some stuff. But what I want to show you is just a quick video on cleansing here. I made a purchase some years ago and I had a bag full of sage. And so, what you see here is I always rebag stuff because of course as you can see the leaves fall off the sage here. So I just take a handful of these and put them in this fireproof dish. This is a brass dish. And I have added aluminum foil to it, and that way I can change out whatever it is I'm burning. Light it, and then extinguish the flame, which I'll show you. I just added new smoke alarms, so I don't want to do too much smoking in this area. So you just light it. Doesn't take long for these to catch. They catch really easy, and once you see that it has turned red, usually the wind, just a light breeze blowing, will actually cause it to go out. And then you can walk through the space, the area, allowing this area to get some smoke. Okay, notice the window is open. You need a way for the energies that you're trying to get rid of to leave. Okay, and I'm not disputing what is in the space. Each space is different, or should I say, I'm not discussing what's in the space. Each space is different, and you do need to do a cleansing of your space every so often. Be it once a week, depends on how much you are having traffic in that area or exchanging energy in that space. You will need to do a cleansing of it. Excuse the echo, we're still in the middle of remodeling in this area. You want to walk through each space. This is one of the bathroom areas, and each area you walk in, give it, as you can see, I'm moving the container. Now, you can, if you will, use feather wands. And I think I've had posted a video on how to make feather wands. But each space needs to have an ample amount of smoke in it. That's why you're smudging. Sometimes it's really hard to stomach all of the smoke. And I have found that there are a couple of companies that do resin incense, which burn a little different than the regular smoke incense. They have smoke, but the resin burns different than the regular incense because, of course, the material that it is made out of. And usually regular incense are made from finely ground sawdust. So each space needs an ample amount of smoke in it. And it's up to you how much is an ample amount, but you need a way for the smoke to escape. And doing so, you can pray at the beginning, asking whatever entities that will come in to assist. Whichever entities that you work with, regularly call on them, be it angels, ascended masters, any type of spiritual entities connected to your religion. Go ahead and do that. Some people say pray. You can make a request. You don't generally have to pray to them. You just ask that they come in and assist in cleansing your space, cleansing your area, and setting the energies in the space so that they are productive to you. Now, sometimes, like I said, I just changed these smoke alarms in here, and it's a bit smoky in here. So I also include the garage space because that is part of my home. It is an attached garage, and so I often smudge in there too. You see, I keep an eye on the where the flame is so that no embers fly up and away somewhere and cause a fire. All you need is a little to spark a fire, and I don't want that to happen. I generally go through the entire house once. Now, if this was one room, I would have only used a couple of leaves, sage leaf. Those are just the leaves. I would have only used a couple of leaves off of this because, as you see, I've gone through the home, and this is almost a 1,300 square foot home, and there are still a lot of unburned leaves in there. As you can tell, I get a little heavy-handed with the leaves or the incense, and so I'm going to do, like I said, I usually do 2 walkthroughs, and then I place the container down and let it finish burning. If it's too smoky, which I'm trying to keep an eye on, it's rather smoky out there in the open space. And so I'm trying to keep an eye on it. All the while I'm speaking to you, it is my intent that any and all stagnant energies, any maleficent energies, any energies that are non-productive or counterproductive, leave this space entirely. And that is my intent. You keep that intent in your mind, at the foremost or forefront of your mind, should I say, when you are smudging. Now, if this was, if I was using a feather wand, I would be fanning lightly, gently, should I say, fanning the smoke away, up into the air, however I'm led to fan the feather wand. And I started making those when I was on the Indian reservation. Some of the ancestors there stepped forward and started instructing me for making feather wands. And therefore, I started making them. So strange, it was a little different for me. Shouldn't say strange, it was a little different for me. And then I started getting different types of feathers. I'm going to set this down now here in the space because it's not smoking that much. And these are some of the feather wands that came to the forefront when I was on the reservation. These small ones are really nice. They're really great for hanging in the car. That's why you see this piece of leather string on there, because they can hang in the car. I have some with crystals attached to them. And then this one has sage in it. Now, it's not for burning. It was made as part of the feather wand itself. But I think some of the small ones had some on them too. And those really are to hang in your car. But I was led to use all different types of feathers, and it really is the feathers are a way of acknowledging the spirit that was here before in that form, whichever fowl that was. They're really gorgeous, and when I look at them, I just kind of take notice and take a moment to honor the spirit that was in the bird that gave up those feathers. And again, I'll either order feathers or I will find feathers that have been shed by a bird. I'm not trying to take the life in order to use the item. So as you can see, most of this has burned out. There's still some over to the side. I would usually take something and just kind of put that over there. I'm doing it with my finger right now, but I can tell that these don't have any fire on them. And that way the whole thing burns out. You can take a skewer, metal skewer, and make sure all of that burns. I'm really at the end of this, so I'm just going to just gently push these over into the flame. The embers are there, still there, and they will burn. But I'm at the end of it. I've walked through the space twice. And it's at this time that I thank all entities that step forward to assist in this endeavor. Thank that they continue to cleanse the space and renew the space so that it is a productive space to move and exist in. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.